Alright, baby, let's ride. This afternoon, I decided to take a different route home. It's a route that I used to take so many years ago, but I changed routes. I decided to change the route that I take from the office to my home and to my home to the office, simply because the route that I take now I found to be much more efficient in that it takes less travel time. But for a change this afternoon, I decided to take that old route again. And that route is taking the South Superhighway and then going into the West Service Road. Traversing the West Service Road will take me to Better Living and Doña Soledad at Better Living, and then from there to the house. Now, from my house to the office, it's just basically the reverse. Take the Doña Soledad towards the West Service Road, and then taking the West Service Road towards South Superhighway. And then from there, I either take South Superhighway all the way to Quirino Avenue, and then from Quirino Avenue to Ross Boulevard. Or I take EDSA from South Superhighway. I take EDSA and then from EDSA to South Superhighway, to Ross Boulevard, that is. Now, this route takes a whole lot longer, around 30 more minutes to an hour or even more, depending on the traffic conditions. This route takes more time, even though the travel distance is relatively the same. This takes longer time simply because it covers basically two stretches of road, or two stretches of roads that are traffic hotspots, and that is South Superhighway and basically three. That's the West Service Road, South Superhighway, and EDSA. Once I get to Ross Boulevard, it's basically a whole lot faster compared to the other parts of the route. Now here we are on EDSA, and as you can see, traffic is beginning to build up already. I have just shortly entered EDSA and it's already building up, particularly when we get to the intersection of Taft Avenue and EDSA. And this relatively slow traffic will reach all the way to the intersection of EDSA and South Superhighway, to the South Superhighway and EDSA interchange. Surprisingly though, traffic this afternoon was a whole lot better than I remember. Still bad, but not as bad as I remember. So I don't know, maybe I'm just lucky this afternoon. Still, it was around an hour and a half to a couple of hours travel time just to get from the office to the house. Traffic on EDSA has been a constant problem in the metro. MMDA has been hard pressed to come up with a solution, and try as they might, they seem to be powerless in solving the traffic. My guess is that they just haven't realized completely that it's more of a volume problem rather than anything else. To a certain extent, I suppose they have realized that. That's why they came up with the number coding scheme. On Mondays, vehicles with plate numbers ending in 1 and 2 are not allowed on EDSA. On Tuesdays, vehicles with plate numbers ending in 3 and 4. And then on Wednesdays, it's 5 and 6. Thursdays, it's 7 and 8. And on Fridays, it's 9 and 0. Now, fortunately, they did not include motorcycles in that number scheme. So, motorcycles of any plate number ending are able to pass through EDSA at any time. Not that it would really help, considering that traffic on EDSA has always been horrible, so even though you are able to travel faster than the other vehicles by filtering, it's still quite a chore that I'd rather not avoid, having now experienced the joys of going through the route that I take now. Now, the route that I take now is also bad in terms of traffic, but not as bad as EDSA. Now, as I have mentioned, surprisingly, traffic this afternoon is lighter than what I remember. Or maybe it's just because I'm traveling on this side. More than likely, if I were to travel on the other side, it's gonna be quite the headache. As you can see, it's quite light. So much so that the enforcers are not minding that the public transportation, the buses and the jeeps and even the taxis, are disregarding the PUV lane. They should stay on that lane, but as you can see, they're going all over the place. I suppose it's a little concession that MMDA gives, considering that it's light, but still, discipline and all that, they should stay within their lanes, right? Now here we are at the interchange. Soon we'll be turning into South Superhighway, and from South Superhighway I'll travel a short distance to the entrance to the West Service Road. Which is where I really got into trouble in terms of the traffic. The traffic at the service road was worse than I remembered. I'm really glad that I'm no longer taking this route on a daily basis. I'm quite happy with the route that I'm taking now. This just confirms it. There's the Skyway up there. Skyway that do not allow motorcycles of displacements lower than 400cc. It's quite discriminatory, but nobody seems to be doing anything about it. Well, they tried to do something about it, but to no avail. Not even the going to the courts was successful in changing the discriminatory policy. Just goes to show how ununited, how divided the motorcycle riding community here in the Philippines is here in the Philippines. So now we're on the South Superhighway. Again, quite surprising. It's quite light. Maybe again I'm just lucky, but from what I can remember before, it's bumper to bumper, or it should be bumper to bumper traffic. Maybe they've improved the traffic somewhat, or maybe again I'm just lucky. And now here's where the long crawl home starts. Going now into the entrance, towards the entrance to the service road. The service road runs parallel to the South Superhighway, and most of the jeeps and most of the cars that do not want to shell out for the tollway fee, goes into the service road. It's quite fortunate that there's still room to filter through, but still it's quite the chore. Now this barrier is something new. It wasn't here the last time I traveled this route, and it may cause somewhat of a traffic build-up in traffic, but I approve. It instills more discipline into not only with the motorcycle riders, but also with the drivers, and it frees that lane for vehicles that are turning right instead of going straight to the West Service Road. And from here on, it's going to be a long crawl home. So I think I'll cut things off here. That's it for now. Until next time, keep on riding on, baby.